friends, welcome back to my channel and to the sequence video. So this is going to be the third and the final video for this set of cards. And if you are new to my channel, or this is the first video that you have seen of this series, or this, I guess, video set. Basically, I am creating 10 cards using some sequins. I had purchased a sequins container at Goodwill a few months back, and I'm trying to kind of test it out to see if it's something that would work well with my process. And so far, so good. I really like the container, how it's clear, and how I can organize most of my sequins by color, so it'll be easy for me to pick out the specific color that I want or need for my project. So with this one, remember, I think it was card number 5, where I created a frame all around my image. Well, this time I'm creating some kind of photo corner type design for this particular card. And I'm going to start off with a green card base, which actually is just a scrap of cardstock that I had cut into an A2 size card, and then some scraps of pattern paper as well. That butterfly image is also from a pattern paper. And if I had 2 of those, what I would have done to create some kind of dimension for that is to fuzzy cut one of them and put them or adhere them right on top of that existing butterfly and then with some foam adhesive to create that dimension. But I only have one, and so I'm going to stick with a flat type of card. And I also have decided that I will not put a sentiment on this card, because a butterfly can stand for a lot of different kinds of sentiment, in my opinion. And so I'm just going to keep it like that, just in case that, I have something specific in mind for the recipient. I can just add that to it. So at this point, I think that 5 is good, but I will actually change my mind in a little bit. You will see. I'm also using some Tombow liquid glue to adhere my tiny flowers and also my sequins. So the flowers are actually, again, just pattern paper. I have a really, well, not tiny, but it's a small flower punch that I had purchased, I believe, at Daiso a long time ago. Daiso is a Japanese store which I frequent when I go to Southern California. Anyways, I had punched out a bunch of them from double-sided pattern paper and for a specific project, and I had a lot of leftovers, so I just put them in my stash. Now at this point I decided, well, maybe I should add a few more, and so this is actually gonna expand a little bit more than I had initially thought, but I like the way it looks. I like that there's those kind of I don't know if I could call it angles, but yeah, there's that. I filled up those corners, if that makes any sense. So that's going to be card number 9 for me. And I don't know if I'm going to show it on camera, but I am going to be adding some shimmer pen to the butterfly to make it shine a little bit more. And that is my card. Now, I just want to let you know that I thought I had recorded a kind of share of the cards at the end of the video, but then I don't know what happened to it. It went away, so I wouldn't be able to show that. But again, if you have not seen the other cards, make sure to check out my YouTube channel, because it should be right before this video. Or I should say the videos were posted right before this one. And I decided to add a little bit more on the bottom to create a visual triangle, and that's my card. And then card number 10, this is the one that took the longest, but I really had a lot of fun with this one. I wanted to fill in the spaces. That's kind of the thought that I had, to have some borders or like squares or something, kind of window and then fill it in with the sequins. So I have this window or frames that I actually created in my Silhouette die cut machine. I know that they sell dies like this where you can create these frames, but I was kind of, I don't know, I was trying to figure out how I can get the look without having to purchase another item, and so I did that with my die cut machine. One of these days maybe I'll do a tutorial, because I really like keep on thinking, but I keep on forgetting to do anything in that with that kind of idea. Anyways, because the right side of the frame is pretty long, I decided to create a scene, and I used a stencil to create my sky and clouds. And then there's this square paper that I found in my scrap that says life is better with friends. And I just happen to have a stamp set that have these critters that are on airplanes, and my plan was that to cut both two of them so that they will look like their friends and flying, and maybe hopefully flying towards somebody, right? And then I'm going to put all of this on a white background, and I'm going to put this whole frame, after I had trimmed it, I'm going to put that on a craft card base. And I don't know if I mentioned it, but the stencil that I used for the sky, for the clouds, is from Simon Says Stamp. And I just used some distress ink and the brush, whatever that's called. I do notice that my frame is slightly smaller than my card base. And sometimes what I would do is I would actually trim the frame itself to match the A2 card size, but with this one I just trimmed the bottom of the card base and then called it good. Or maybe I'll trim the other side too. Yep, I guess I will. I just didn't remember. So I hope that you guys have enjoyed looking at my process of how to make some cards using some sequins. I had really enjoyed making this. It took me a while to actually do the whole process because it was summer and there was a lot of traveling and other things going on in my life, but it was fun. I find that I am having a harder time carving out craft time lately, and that is really kind of, I don't know how to say it, like it's just affecting my crafting mojo because my crafting sessions are so far in between each other. But what I do know is that even when it takes a long time for me to create, when I am in the middle of the process of creating, it's just so much fun for me that it really is like crafting, paper crafting is part of me now. So that when I create, it's like I'm going back to what I know or what I'm familiar with. And so I guess the lesson there is that even if we are in a season of our life where we feel like we don't have a lot of time for creating, just carve a little bit of time, and it's good for your soul. So anyways, going back to the layout, as you can see, I have this stamp set from Pink and Main, and I had stamped and colored a couple of the critters on the airplane. They're really adorable. Now, one thing that I'm going to say is I'm not really good with coloring. So as you can see, it's kind of, I don't know, it's kind of pale when I'm looking at it right now, but it is what it is. I'm still learning, and so I still like the process. But one thing to note for next time is to kind of pick some better colors. I don't know, I was feeling like I wanted to make it true to the colors of an airplane, which is more muted, but it just doesn't stand out in my opinion. So I'm just going to go crazy with color next time I work on this. And I also noticed that because I didn't use my Tim Holtz stamp positioner, that my ink is it's just pale because I only did one stamp. And that is it for me. I will have a close-up shot of this particular card at the end and a little bit of sharing of the photos of the other cards I created for this particular series. Again, thank you so much for watching. And if you like these videos, please consider giving it a thumbs up and subscribing. And I will catch you guys in another video. Bye.